I got 3 child's mothers and I got 5 kids.
Why the fuck are you having 5 kids with 3 different women, bro? And you're broke. Do they got you on child support?
Yeah.
All 3 baby mamas?
Nah, just 2 really.
How much you paid in child support?
$800 for my daughter, $500 for my twin boys.
What's good, YouTube? This is KB LaFleur. You can call me KB. Welcome back to another video, man. We got something pretty good today, man. We got your brother FitX, right? I believe that's his name, FitX, man. I mean, I don't really watch this brother much. But he is considered one of your red pill gurus who is going to teach you, man, how to get some women on your wee-wee, right? So, I mean, like I said, brothers like this sometimes give us a bad rap because some of the advice that he gives men, and a lot of times it just doesn't make any sense, right? This doesn't make any sense. Now, we did a video on him 3 months ago, pretty much giving this brother advice, right, about how to be able to increase his chances of getting a girlfriend, getting a woman, right? A lot of times it's just how to get a woman, not as much as creating a family or getting a girlfriend and finding a partner, but it's just more of, hey man, look, how many women can you get on your meat, right? And you need to be able to maximize it the best way possible. So any flaw that you have, you need to fix it, right? Whereas on this channel and on most of your channels that are similar to mine, man, they're going to tell you this. We're talking to the average guy. Average guy, I mean, you just need to fix what you got going on, not fix a deformity, man, that really doesn't bother anybody, that really doesn't hinder anything, right? Because as a man, you can make it up in many different ways.
At 20 years old right now, why should a woman go on a date with you?
I don't know.
You don't even know. What does that tell you, bro?
I need to keep working.
Not just keep working, you just start working on the right shit. You got to get serious about your entire life. You're living with your parents. You're not making any money. These girls are not finding you attractive. I'm looking at you. You got a nice facial structure, but your glass is big as hell. Are you cross-eyed?
Yeah, my eyes. So basically how it goes is my eye right here, it's like it goes to the side. Like I look one direction and then my eyes, like my vision's kind of like, it's funny.
Can you fix it? Is it possible?
I mean, it is. I'm sure you can get like LASIK.
Will LASIK fix the eye?
I don't know, but I was thinking about getting LASIK.
I know there are procedures to fix a lazy eye. So that's something that I would be trying to get a better job, put some disposable income towards, because that'll enhance your appearance drastically, bro.
So how's my hair? Is it bad or?
You got to work on everything.
Got you.
You got to fix your eyes. You got to get some more money. You got to get in shape. If you have a lazy eye, and it can be fixed, what you need to be focusing on is fixing it. So get to work, man. I don't know who's around you, what your environment is like, but they're not telling you the truth right now. Yeah. Gotta wake up.
Let's just be honest here, man. If he has tons of money, if he has status, if he works out, goes in the gym, that eye man would be the least of any woman's concern, right? A lot of women would be like, oh man, he's buff, he's this, that, oh, got a little lazy eye. But you get to know him and you're like, okay, well, he ain't too bad, right? The money just got him into the door. The way he presents himself, his aura got him into the door, right? Who cares about the eyeball? Once again, I got stains on my teeth, man, that I had when I was little, right? And I forgot what you call it. Some little medical, whatever. It's some little medical term that goes with it, right? Some kids end up having it. But for the most part, man, I think it was like calcium deficiency in your teeth or something like that. So where it looks like you have some yellow marks on your teeth, right? People used to pick on me all the time, saying, yeah, a cat pissed on my teeth, saying, man, this, that. I mean, it was a bunch of stuff. But once again, at the end of the day, it still didn't deter me from getting the women that I wanted. So for once, man, you got this brother making some pretty decent advice on his show. And he is pretty much holding this brother accountable for creating all of these children. Let's just go ahead and jump into this video.
I got 3 child's mothers and I got 5 kids.
Why the fuck are you having 5 kids with 3 different women, bro? And you're broke. Do they got you on child support?
Yeah.
All 3 baby mamas?
Nah, just 2 really.
How much you paid in child support?
$800 for my daughter, $500 for my twin boys.
Goodness gracious, bro. The other 2 kids, that one ain't putting you on child support.
Nah.
This is called the cycle of poverty. Were you born into a rich family? So the cycle of poverty is you're born into a poor family and you just do dumb shit. And now your kids are going to be less fortunate because you're the only person responsible of taking care of 5 fucking kids. And how much are you making a month?
$3,500.
So you left with $2,200. How much you pay for rent?
My rent $700.
My goodness, bro. How much it costs for you to feed yourself and the other 2 kids plus the woman?
Probably like $300 a month.
Are y'all on food stamps?
Yeah.
Listen, bro. At some point, you can't ruin your life anymore. You got to make a decision to stop doing stupid shit. You don't have to be a genius in life. You just have to be good at not doing dumb shit. And you've done a lot of dumb shit so far. 5 kids at 25? Bro, you need to be working 3 jobs. The one job that you're working is not going to be enough.
Man, that boy sound worse, man, than some of them women, man, that be on them balloon popping contests and be on Kendra G show. I mean, man, 5 kids. Goodness gracious, 5 kids. And see, and here's the thing about it, man. That 3,500, man, especially where you, depending on where you're living, but for the most part, man, for a single person, 3,500 is some pretty good money. It is some pretty decent money. It's not a bunch, but it's some pretty good. It's a pretty good money, man, for you to at least live comfortably off on, right? I know for a fact I could, right? So the fact that he's making some pretty decent money and all of that is being squandered away, let's just be real, through rent, having to sort of and pay up for some kids, man, that once again you probably taking care of anyway. Once again, I mean, hey, for a father like that, that is where I could see child support being very important, because once again, you got all of these kids. Yeah, one of the mothers, or some of the mothers are gonna need some help. If not all of them, gonna need some help. The only thing that I disagree with him is when he asks, right? And once again, you gotta watch a full clip, but he asks and he says, "Hey, man, listen, you know, did you come from?" He says a cycle of poverty. He said, "Did you come from a rich home?" No. Okay, so this is what happens when you come from a broke, poor home, right? Well, time out, brother. But just because he didn't come from a rich home doesn't mean he came from a poor home, right? He could have easily came from a home with two parent household, men, where they were living comfortably, right? So once again, there's three phases, baby. You got poor, you got comfortable, right? You got the middle class, and then you got the high class, right? So for the most part, man, I mean, once again, he gives some pretty good advice. He gives some pretty good advice with this one, and he's saying you need to work 3 jobs. And I mean, 25 years of age with 5 kids, yeah, brother, tripping. That's that there, yeah, brother. That is literally within 5 years. It's literally a kid every year. So let's go ahead and read these comments. Someone says he took it well, no ego, right? And this is what most men do. This is what most fathers do. This is literally what most, if not all, fathers do. They take accountability. They take responsibility, and they say, "Hey, well, you know what? It is what it is. You can hold me accountable." We have plenty of shows and plenty of platforms and plenty of women, man, who make these podcasts just to down black men, just to hold black men accountable. Tons and tons and tons. And you hear plenty of sisters, plenty of women say, "Well, we always talk about, you know, black women in the community, but we don't ever talk about the black man." We've always talked about the black man. We've always talked about how a lot of us black men make rap music that just doesn't make any sense, that glorifies death, right? And mayhem. We've always held men accountable. We've always held fathers accountable at the end of the day. But this narrative that women throw up so they can play victim, so they can have an argument, is just weird, right? It's just weird. But men will always be held accountable. That's the sad thing about it, right? Women hated Kevin Samuels when he sat over here in his first. Women hated Kevin Samuels when his first audience that he was holding accountable was men, right? But they hate him because he held women accountable. And once again, man, it's just a cycle, right? It's just a cycle of disingenuous behavior, of a cycle of women, man, just not being able to have an argument for anything. So hey, guess what? We're just going to start pushing false narratives. So someone else says, "I'm so glad to see men telling other men that they must do better. He took it in stride, though. Hopefully he is better from it." Someone else says, "This man can't pull out of a driveway." Someone else says, "and make more money." Right. So, I mean, if you having 3 jobs, I mean, you're already making as much money as possible. Right now, of course, the higher you go up in each job, more money you get. But for the most part, man, and see, that's the sad thing about it is he's about to drive himself crazy, man, just to sit over here and support kids when he could easily just, hey, let me go ahead and pick one person. But see, when you deal with a lot of dating gurus like this, let's just be honest, man, you run the chances, right? Because these guys are pretty much preaching, man, being able to sleep around with as many women as possible, be able to get as many women on your meat as possible, and being a high status guy, right? This right here can be the catalyst where you're having tons and tons and tons of women. I mean, prime example, he had a video with this one guy, man, where the guy was pretty much asking him for advice on how to get rid of women. He's the type of guy, man, that sit over here and say, "Man, I'm depressed, man, because I'm too rich, I'm too successful." I mean, just look at the video.
What are you looking for in terms of dating?
I'm just trying to settle down, bro. Like, bro, that got me in a lot of bullshit. Like, all these females having to manage every single one. That
How many females you got?
Bro, the most I had at one time was like 5, bro.
5 girls at the same time?
Listen, bro, listen. I'm from Mississippi, right? I moved out here to Florida like a year ago. I was going crazy in Mississippi, but when I got to Florida, you know, that's a whole different story. Going crazy and shit. That shit brought me more bad than good, bro.
You were 5 girls at the same time?
Hey, bro.
Yeah, okay.
Hey.
Got you. You had to get rid of all 5 of them. Or how many you got left?
Man, bro, honestly, I've been ghosting them. Like, just not texting back. I really just been focusing on myself. Hey, bro, like, listen, bro. At one point in time, bro, I never knew him. So, I mean.
Hey, this is the only time you can tell me you working on yourself. You heard what he just said? I'm too many girls that I need a break.
It's too much energy, bro.
I know.
Like I said, I would never get on a guy, man, who wants to go out here and go sleep around with multiple women. That's your prerogative, brother. Go ahead and do your thing, right? Do your thing, right? But once again, we want to preach being with one woman. And once again, there are going to be some guys, man, who are going to want to get something on the side from time to time. Once again, I still will never, ever down a black man or down any man at that who's going to sit over here and say, hey, well, you know what? Let me go ahead and get some peace on the side. But one thing I will say at the end of the day, you need to stick with one woman. At the end of the day, you need to stick with one woman. That's just the goal. But you run the risk of being Nick Cannon, a Cam Newton, this guy that's on, you know, that's on his platform. You got 2 guys that's on his platform. One guy who has 5 kids by a bunch of different women. Then you got one guy who is messing around with a bunch of women. Now, the difference is one guy is stable, or one guy, I'm not even gonna say he's not stable because he makes $3,500, you know, a month, you know, but for the most part, man, he ain't on this guy's level. Let's be real here. But look at the similarities, right? Because this dude can easily end up like this brother here, man, who has to pay child support. He can easily end up if he's not careful. So that's why, man, that the dating guru, this Myron and alpha male strategies where you're trying to get as many women as possible, man, it's not always going to end well. It's not always the best route to go down. Someone else says it doesn't mean he can't change his outcome. Instead of bashing this guy, give him advice, help him better himself if he is willing to learn, right? So I don't think he was bashing him. I think he was kind of giving him some advice. But for the most part, someone else says telling a man to go work 3 jobs doesn't tell me he will be or do better in any aspect. Someone else says good advice. Someone else says 700. Where he at? Yeah, right. Yeah. Rent is kind of low, right? Rent is kind of low depending on where you go and depending on what hood you're going to be living in. I mean, I don't know, man. Look, y'all let me know down below, man. How do y'all feel about this, man? Like I said, he gives a lot of rocky advice. But I mean, hey, man, welcome to, you know, that part of the red pill, man, where you have your red pill dating gurus who are just going to glorify sleeping with as many women as possible. Right. And like I said, we had one clip of a guy who was messing with multiple women, right? Messing with multiple women at one time. And then you have another guy, man, who has messed with multiple women and has 5 kids by multiple women, right? Once again, that guy can easily get to that point if he doesn't take anything seriously. And it could easily happen, man, even if he does take it seriously, but he still messing around with 5 women, you're going to have some kids out of wedlock. It's just not going to be a good sight. It's not going to be a good sight, man. But once again, man, y'all let me know down below. How do y'all feel? Do me a huge favor. Leave me a like, leave me a comment, subscribe to the channel.